Hey house guests, welcome to today's BB Can 6 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Ella and Craig from Custom Charm Farm. I gotta thank you guys so much. They sent me this adorable donut package. I got this necklace. I got, let's see, I want to show you guys up close because this is really freaking cute. This keychain. Look at how adorable that is with the sprinkles. Yeah, there we go. There's that focus. And then also these little magnets. Like, how freaking cute is tiny food, right? Oh my god, I'm obsessed. So thank you guys so much for sending those over. And I'm going to leave a link. I can't stop staring at them. I'm going to leave a link in the info box below to their Instagram channel. Oops, I'm going to get that in a second. I'm going to leave a link to their Instagram page if you guys want to check it out. They make all sorts of jewelry and stuff out of like tiny little miniature food, and it's so cute. So thank you guys again, and if you want to be house guest of the day like Ella and Craig, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so at the end of yesterday's spoiler, where were we? Will wanted to keep Allie, and Paris and Maddie were leaning more towards keeping Kayla. Which means if they went against Will, Kayla would stay because she would already have Derek's vote. She would have the 3 to stay. But like, are they going to go against Will? Is Will even going to stick with wanting Allie to stay? These people are like, blah, 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 blah. So Will went and told Johnny that the girls were thinking about keeping Kayla. He told on them. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. So I just gotta say, this whole season, this week especially, the last 48 hours I would say, has felt like a long Peter and Nance sketch from Portlandia. Do you remember those characters? Peter's the one who could never make up his freaking mind. It's like that. So it's been a lot of fun. So anyway, there was a bit of a tiff yesterday between Maddie and Paris. You can tell the pressure is really getting to them. They were in the white bedroom, and Paris was accusing Maddie of throwing her under the bus to Johnny. So she's like, just know that what you say to Johnny comes back to me. So Maddie's like, she didn't yawn, but I did because it's annoying. So Maddie is like, Johnny initiates those conversations. It's not me. He's just trying to drive a wedge between the two of us. We can't let him get to us like this. So Paris is like, well, you don't bring enough information back to me. You need to tell me when you hear things. You need to tell me what Johnny's been saying. What did you say to Johnny? It's crazy how Paris treats Maddie. It's insane. And just the other day, when Maddie was finding out that Paris was saying all this stuff behind her back, she was just like, I don't even need to hear it. I trust Paris completely. That's so sad. So anyway, Maddie says she basically just told Johnny that out of their group, Paris trusts Johnny the least. I mean, I think he knows that. But anyway, Paris is like, I stuck my neck out for you 4 times, and I know you're here for the $100,000, but it's really messed up that you would throw me under the bus like that. So again, Maddie's like, it's not like that at all. You're my number one. Johnny was never my number one. So she's like, I know that you've been doing things for me. You don't have to hold it over my head. Amen. So then Maddie reiterates that Johnny is trying to drive a wedge between them, and they should keep Kayla around to take him out because she's going to have a way better shot at doing it than like Allie or Liv. They can't really trust Allie or Liv to take Johnny out because they're not totally sure what their relationship is like with Johnny. But Paris is nervous that Dayla will screw them over, and she doesn't want to look like an idiot in front of Canada because Dayla has already lied so much to so many people, and they denied so much during the house meeting. But enough of that. Paris brings it back to the whole Johnny thing. They argue about that some more. And Paris is like, I heard that you basically called me baggage. Apparently, Maddie was talking to Johnny. Paris and Will were like walking out of the room, and she heard that Maddie said to Johnny, see what I have to deal with. So she's like, don't act like you're better than me. And Maddie's like, I don't think that. I know that I'm only here because of you. Not really true, but okay. And I know that I'm only playing for second place here. So anyway, that was it for that. But then they resumed this conversation later in the catacombs because it's just never ending. And apparently this was all over a comment that Maddie may or may not have made like 3 weeks ago. This is not even a recent thing. Are you serious? It was a different world back then. We were all living different lives and we still had hopes in our hearts. I don't know. Hope in our hearts. Whatever. So, I don't know. They talk about it a bit more and then they're like, whatever. It's been addressed. It's fine now. Sure. So then Maddie brings it all back to this week's vote. She seems really worried that Will is going to drop the two of them for Johnny moving forward. I could totally see that happening. So she's like, it's better for us, me and you, not necessarily Will, to keep Kayla. And we need to think about our own games here. But Paris is like, I don't know. I don't want to go against Will. And she has such a hard time trusting Dayla. And also, she doesn't want to be in the final 5 with a tight showmance. You know? She feels like they're going to get rid of the trio before they get rid of each other. Yeah. And, Maddie's like, it's okay, because if we win HOH and triple, we're going to take out Dayla. That's a pretty big if. We'll see about that. But anyway, Paris, again, is worried about looking like a bunch of sheep to Canada. She doesn't want to look like an idiot. A little late for that. So anyway, Kayla then campaigns to Maddie, Paris, and Will for the millionth time. I'm going to let you guys guess what her campaign strategy was. Big surprise. She was like, I'll put up Johnny and Olivia if I win in the triple. I want to go to Final 5 with you guys and Derek, blah, blah, blah. But Will is like, that's great. But what happens once we get to the Final 5? Because I heard that you want to take me out first out of that group. So it doesn't make sense for him to keep her. How far do you expect to be carried? Most of the time on these shows, people will be like, all right, we'll go to the Final 5 together and then anything goes, you know? But Will expects people to be like, I'm going to keep you safe till the Final 2 and then I'm going to tell everybody to vote for you. Win a damn competition and keep yourself safe. So Kayla doesn't even deny it. She's like, yeah, I talked to Maddie about it in the past. It is what it is. Like, yeah, I would go for you. Sorry. But I can guarantee you Final 5, which sounds pretty good, right? And then she brings up, like, I know you would pick Derek over me. So how is that really any different? It's the same thing. Boom. So after the pitch, Kayla leaves. And it's just the trio talking together about what they've just heard. So at this point, Will still says that he wants to send Kayla home. And then he decides to threaten his allies and kind of like give him an ultimatum here. He says, you can keep Kayla if you want, but if you do, I'm going to go work with Johnny and Liv because I need some numbers. Wow, he really just said that. And he sucked the energy right out of the room. Maddie and Paris were just like, it was really awkward. You could tell they're just like, the fuck? Yeah, also, that doesn't make sense because he would be on the wrong side of the numbers. If Kayla stayed, it would be 4 on one side, Derek, Kayla, Maddie, and Paris, versus Johnny, Liv, and Will. So, like, that doesn't make sense, but okay. And also, Johnny can't compete in the next HOH. Right? So anyway, this should be a huge wake-up call for Maddie and Paris. Yeah, Will's ready to drop you because that's what he feels would be best for his game. So the girls are like, all right, we get what you're nervous about. We know that you're worried that Kayla's going to take you out after the Final 5, but we need to make sure we even make it there before we start planning what's going to happen after that, right? Yeah. So then Will's like, all right, I'm going to go talk to Johnny. Yeah. He's going to go tell on them again. And he does. He's like, yeah, Kayla's campaigning really hard to us, and the girls are thinking about keeping her. Maddie and Paris, at the same time, are chatting alone now, and they are shook by what Will just said to them. So Maddie's like, I don't like how Will is trying to strong-arm us. Not really making me feel so good. She also suspects maybe Will has something going with Liv and Johnny already. Right? And she doesn't like that. So Maddie is trying to convince Paris to keep Kayla. Again, she's saying, choose us. We can't play for Will and Johnny right now. We need to do what's best for our own games. So Paris is like, I don't want to go against Will. Why? I don't understand it. So then Paris goes up to the HOH room to talk to Will and Johnny, and of course they're telling her, Kayla's gotta go. We gotta break up the showmans, blah, 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 blah. And they're saying Maddie only wants to keep Kayla, because she is the third to Dayla. They're both going to want to take her to the final 2 instead of each other. And Johnny is really selling that Dayla would put up Will or Paris before they put up Maddie. Whereas Allie and Liv would put up Maddie, and that's why Maddie wants Allie to go. You know what I'm saying? So for that moment, Paris is like, all right, I'm on board to evict Kayla. Let's just do this. She actually goes and talks to Allie too and is like, I'm not going to tell you my official decision until the morning, but I feel like, she basically implies, I'm going to keep you. So, oh, this is sloppy. All right. So then Paris goes and talks to Maddie again, and she's like, I want to keep Allie. And Maddie is really sad, but she says she'll go along with it if that's what the group wants, even though she knows Allie and Liv would put her up if either of them were to win the triple. So then, Kayla is sensing that the tides may be turning here, and she decides, you know what? I'm going to try something a little different right now. So Kayla starts using this, like, sassy scare tactics approach on Paris, and it seems like it could have some firepower here. She's like, well, I can tell by the way people are acting that I'm going. I thought you guys would have told me. What's that all about? So Paris is like, well, I was waiting to confirm with Maddie because she said, like, maybe she wanted to sleep on it or whatever. And Kayla's like, yeah, I feel like Maddie was the only one out of you guys who really wanted to keep me here. Boom! So then Paris is like, well, I don't want to go against Will because he's really strongly against keeping you. Yo, that's gotta sound so lame to Kayla right now, because earlier in the week, Paris was saying, like, I'll be the one to keep you or get rid of you this week because I can tell Maddie and Will what to do, blah, blah, blah. So now Kayla is seeing that Maddie's on board for this, and she would only need one more vote from Paris, and Paris is not willing to do it. So that should be like, whoa, to Kayla. So Kayla's like, yeah, Will does not want to keep me because he knows that I would keep you and Maddie over him once we get to the final 5. So Kayla's like, all right, well, whatever. I'm going to be in the jury, and this is an individual game, so it's not going to look so good to me when people vote as a group. So she's like, I might see you in jury sooner rather than later. I don't like followers in this game. That's not a winning point for me. And she really emphasizes, I'm going to be talking to other jurors. I'm going to be voting in the end. And she says, you guys were freaking dangling your jury votes in front of me. I can do it right back. I love this because it was so annoying the other day when Will was just like, you guys put us up or we're not going to vote for you in the end. So I'm glad she's using this the other way. All right, so then Kayla tells Paris, if you and Will make it to the end together, it's going to be a plus for him and a negative for you because you're just playing his game right now. And Kayla says, we can talk about the game more in jury. Oh, snap! Okay, I believe Derek was sitting there during this conversation too, but he didn't really say anything. He was just letting Kayla take the reins here, as usual. So then Paris goes and talks to Maddie, and she's like, I'm reconsidering here. I'm thinking maybe we should keep Kayla. Wow. So now Paris is asking Kayla, can you give me until the morning to decide? And Kayla's like, yeah, whatever. And then Will, Maddie, and Paris were chatting again in the white bedroom. So they're still debating who to keep. They're going through all the scenarios, Jose. And Paris and Maddie say their best chance of making it to the final 5 is to keep Kayla. It might not be their best chance to win or get past the final 5, but they need to get there first. And they say, if we win HOH during the triple, we're going to take out Dayla. Okay, so Will is like, all right, maybe we should have one more chat with Dayla. This freaking guy was threatening his allies before with an ultimatum to flip sides, and now he's like, yeah, let's talk to Dayla again before we go to bed. Are you serious? So then, before they do that, Paris and Will both go to Johnny and lie and say, well, yeah, we're keeping Allie, of course. And they're like, we already told Kayla that we're voting her out. Like, she wasn't happy about it. So they don't mention this final campaign that's about to happen. Wow. So they do end up chatting with Dayla a little while later, and Dayla gives the same pitch. We want Final 5 with you guys, blah, blah, blah. If we win the triple, we're putting up Johnny, Liv, and one of you guys because we have to, but you can keep that other person safe. But this time, they sealed this sweet deal. Kayla swore on her cats, and Derek swore on his family that they will follow through with this plan. And the trio's just like, they're liking that. So then after Kayla and Derek are celebrating in the catacombs because it looks like Kayla could possibly stay, and they say they would actually follow through with their end of the deal. Ugh. And then, you know, we're trying to hear what the trio thinks after this conversation, but there's no audio for their conversation. Are you serious? Cool. Okay. So then this morning, the trio is still waffling. So honestly, it doesn't even matter what they were saying because I'm sure it was more of the same. So anyway, Kayla and Allie are both campaigning at this point still this morning. Will is talking to Johnny in the kitchen. And after this morning being like, we can't tell Johnny because he's going to freak out and the house is going to blow up, Will, in his usual way, is like, yeah, so like, we're voting out Kayla. No. But the group is still talking about it. So, what? I don't know. So then Johnny's just like, wait, they're still like thinking about maybe keeping Kayla? And Will's just like, yeah. So Will says at this point, both duos are saying that they would put up Johnny. He's got a little spin on this. He says that they would both put up Johnny. So the trio is trying to consider what's best for them because it doesn't matter. Johnny's going to go up anyway. And they want to see what the best option is for them moving forward, and then they can keep Johnny safe during the triple. Okay. I don't think Johnny liked that. And in fact, I know he did not like that. Later, Johnny is campaigning for Kayla to go. He's trying to convince Will and Maddie that they gotta split up the showmance. It's the same stuff. They're a stronger duo than Allie and Liv. And Will's like, yeah, but they pitched to us one last time last night and they swore on their families, so it means more. And Johnny's just like, so then Paris comes in. She's also saying Dayla swore on their families, and Johnny's like, are you joking right now? Hello, this is Big Brother. Their backs are against the wall. People are going to do things like that when they're desperate. It doesn't mean they're actually going to follow through on it. So then, I mean, it's absolute mayhem at this point. I would say pretty much right after the feeds came back, after their rehearsal, when the feeds were down, it was nuts, okay? All the way up until the feeds went down right before the eviction. Nuts. So Paris starts accusing Maddie of having made a deal with Derek to stay safe in the triple no matter what, because she's super paranoid. Because she heard from Kayla last night, like, oh, I think Maddie was the only one who wanted to keep me. And earlier in the week, she was saying that she would keep people safe in the order that they, like, committed their vote to her. So she's just like, oh, did Maddie run to Kayla and say that she was going to keep her safe? So now she's going to be safe with her? So Maddie's just like, I didn't make a deal! Ah! She's freaking out about it. And then Will and Paris still telling Allie that she has their votes. And Derek and Kayla pull Paris aside. They swear to her they will not put her up on the block, even as a replacement nominee. And Paris is just like, whoa, this is a sweet deal. I don't know what to do. Will was trying to get the same protection from Derek. And Derek was like, you know, you're my boy. You know, I shared those beers with you because I like you as my boy. But he does not make that same deal with Will. He's like, I'm not going to make deals with any of you guys because it's just not fair or whatever. So then, speaking of Will, he's trying to pin this whole last minute mayhem on Johnny's paranoia. You're the one who was feeding him info. Don't even. So then Kayla and Allie were both running around like crazy, both campaigning their heads off, and the trio's just like, what are we gonna do? So they're freaking out. And then half an hour before the feeds go down for good, Will is saying, finally, he's making a decision. He's like, all right, I want to keep Allie. And Maddie wants to keep Kayla, which means it comes down to Paris, one of the most indecisive players of all time. I mean, the whole trio is super indecisive, right? But I feel like Paris is next level. So she's going back and forth. Oh my god. And then finally, right before the feeds go down, she's just like, I think I want to evict Allie. So I don't know if that's actually going to stick or not. I don't know if Will also flip his vote to match them to keep Kayla. But whew, it's going to be a crazy episode, right? I mean, if we go by what was said right before the feeds went down, it looks like Allie will be going. But who freaking knows, man? Anything could happen. And then 2 other people are going to be leaving after that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow when we have a completely different game, much love.